Hey guys, how you guys doing? I'm sorry to you guys that I was too busy cleaning up my house and all this kind of shit. I apologize for that. And also the last video that I did, I was talking about domestic violence a little bit going on by Kuyana or whatever like that. So, and you didn't see my face because my hair is messed up. But now I got my hair braided, so you know what that means. The only thing I like to talk about, y'all, is prostitution. The prostitution goes on in every kind of state and all across the globe. You see women use their short skirts, their asses hanging out, their breasts is hanging out for other reasons. Prostitutions come from other reasons because they need it for the money for their kids, financial reasons, or they just do it for the love of it, for having sex. And some of the states, including Nevada, is the only states that allow prostitution in Nevada. And they have any brothel house or other escort services in the state of Nevada. Other thing is that there are other escort services as well in everywhere, every state, every country, you know what I mean? In Germany, they allow prostitution because they need it as workers, as working girls. Sometimes prostitution will be landing in the streets, ran by the pimps, who force her to do it, even though she doesn't want to do it, but they had to make ends meet, and carry diseases, STDs or whatever, and STDs and other viruses. And not only they are women out in the streets, they should be calling themselves bitches and hoes. Because they don't deserve to be called women. The definition of a woman is women who goes to school, works, provide education, and feed their kids. Instead of stripping out your clothes, butt naked ass, in the street corners, they use it for dope or carry STDs. And it's very, very sad today that women have forced to have to do this for other reasons. I already told you that earlier today. And it's shameful for women had to do this in front of their kids or disgrace themselves into doing it, to look like tramps, to look like dogs. And it saddens me today that women were forced to take off their clothes in the streets. And then some said, well, they had to do this because they got to survive. So they don't have to be laying in the street corners as homeless, eating out of garbage cans or steal or whatever they got to use. Just like 2 years ago when Dahmer's made that comments against the Rutgers University basketball team of females of nappy hoes. Everybody was mad, angry at Don Dahmer and forced Dahmer they had to fire him by CBS and 8 months later he got his job back. I mean, it's saddest for women today are be treated like hoes. And then they're not hoes, they're just trying to get the education or trying to become lawyers, doctors, basketball players, instead of landing in the streets, selling their bodies so they can fuck men, or whatever they have to do. And it's real sad. Or prostitutions. Another thing that landing in prostitution is escort service. The escort service are using the private places on the websites that they have to use on the internet. They can't really show their worker's face until you have to meet them. And then they have to use it for other reasons. Because they need it for sex. Or they can't get their partner to do it because they can't do it other reasons. So they have to hire some girls to call them up there, meet them in a special place so that they could do it as soon as they get done. They take your money, that's it. That's not love. That's business. Love is the song that cares about you, loving you, and making sure that you don't get hurt. Instead of you give out money to women, and after they're done fucking you, and that's it. You know, I'm just like all the guys that you know, every guy does it. You know what I mean? It's the business. Instead of hire girls in the streets, getting caught by the cops and get arrested for prostitution. So they got to do it in a special place to run their business at. And once they call them up there in the escort service or in the websites until you meet that person, and after you guys hit it in a special place, you have to give them money, and that's it. You know, it's hard, but it is what it is. But I have to disagree because you don't have to sell your body for sex. There's other reasons to survive. It's get you a damn job, go to the military services, or do whatever than to prostitute themselves. It's not right, it's not cool, and it's unsafe. So that's all for me to say on prostitution. If you like to make a feedback, please do. Good or bad, it doesn't really matter. That's your guys' opinion. It's a freedom of speech. So please, when I get done speaking, make your feedback, whether it's good or bad, on prostitution. So thank you guys for listening for what I have to say. More videos to come real soon. And thank you for listening. Alright, peace.